So I've got great news. If you haven't seen my Facebook post, I accepted another job and I got accepted, which is exciting, for Rural King. Discounts, discounts, discounts for me. So I'm totally excited. And when I worked back there when I was 17, they sure didn't pay nearly as good as they do these days. So I'm super excited. They're going to start me off as a cashier, and then they're going to move me out to nowhere else besides lawn and garden. Duh. So that's totally exciting. And my first paycheck, I already planned on buying more birds. My mallard hen disappeared during the last storm. Not sure where he's at, but my khaki Campbell Drake is going nuts without his woman. So I'm probably going to have to scan Facebook, or if any of you guys have a spare duck hen, I don't care what breed she is, Mr. Campbell would appreciate it. But they do have pecans right now at my local Madisonville Rural King, so I'm gonna be buying pecans. And then they have brown comets, white comets, Easter eggers, olive eggers as far as chickens go. So I think I'm gonna pick up some of those breeds, because not only do I want like a colorful variety of eggs to sell, I like having a mixed flock. I love my chickens, and I definitely want to replace the ones I've lost. So first paycheck, I already plan on buying more birds. I probably won't need much by the way of lawn and garden since I start everything from seeds, but I'm just excited to work with plants, period. And the chickens and the chicks and the ducks are close by, and rabbits when they get rabbits in. So that's gonna be a bonus for me. I have to walk by those cute little darlings every time I go to my department. I'm celebrating today's occasion by going out in the garden and doing some more weeding. I've already started doing some weeding yesterday, and hopefully I could get some of these cold levers in the ground. I definitely want to start radishes and peas, if nothing else, between today and tomorrow, because I start on the 17th, which is a few days away. Today's the 15th, and so it's supposed to be beautiful today and tomorrow. I mean, relatively. It's been cold, so I'm gonna get dressed up and go outside. Look at this. We got a little leghorn hen digging around in my straw bucket. When we installed the automatic coop door, I went ahead and cleaned out the coop and took off too much straw from this bale. Maybe they're going to decide to lay in there. I don't know. I don't see any eggs so far, just a bunch of digging. You guys look guilty. They just have guilt written all over them. There's Mr. Campbell, my Drake. Mr. Campbell is a khaki Campbell, hence his name, Mr. Campbell. Hi, little puppy. So I started weeding this bed yesterday, and funny enough, I have a crap ton of Italian large leaf parsley, or whatever the variety's called. Basically, I've accidentally ripped up quite a bit of them and just kind of set the roots back down on top of it. I'm sure they'll root pretty good. This looks like kale. Let me taste it. Yeah, that's kale. But it's funny, when I sowed these seeds last year, they didn't want to come up for me then. They said nope, and then they just decided to come up whenever they freaking felt like it. And then I got some Swiss chard here. And I'm going to let that grow. Just everything that's edible and tastes good in here. I mean, maybe these weeds are edible too, and I just don't know. I don't even know what weeds they are. But they got to go, because I could be transplanting my kale when it's big enough out to this bed. And I think I want to keep it in this bed because it's going to last the longest here. Since this is a shady spot, the hotter it gets, it's going to be the coolest spot in the garden to grow it. So that's what I'm thinking. So I basically got this weeded now. There's a few odds and ends in there, but I'm just not worried about it because overall it's all parsley and some kale. So there's that. So I started weeding, grab that, over here in this bed. And I don't see the asparagus I planted last year. I just hope it's dormant and hanging out in there and it'll come back, hopefully. And a lot of these weeds are pretty hard to get out, so I'm going to come back tomorrow or later on with a hand spade and dig them out. But I'm going to go ahead and sow my peas along the chicken wire there. I did have green beans planted along this trellis last year, but I'm going to go ahead and do peas. So, let's find out what I'm working with here. It looks like there's quite a bit of parsley in this bed too. I must have forgotten that I've sowed parsley over here, that or birds or whatever drug seeds over for me, decided I need some over there. But I'm going to dig all that parsley out, especially since I got so much in that bed. Bloomsdale, I got that winter sown. I believe I got some bunching. Here we go, some peas, sugar magnolia tendril peas. I'm not going to do any carrots. Do I want to do some onions? Long day type. I don't know if I need long day or short day, so I'm going to do some research on those. But I could be growing some turnips, and then I got beets too. I'm going to go ahead and do beets because we love pickled beets, and yeah, why not? My bull's blood beets are already open, so I'm going to go ahead and use those instead of the Detroit dark red. Cascadia peas too. So maybe I'll do some. And there's Little Marvel too. I believe those are a shelling pea. Bush plants. I'm going to go ahead and take those out. Sugar and snap peas. And I know that these are a bush too. And I thought I had some radishes in here, but maybe they're in my shoebox inside. These are carrots. Yeah, I gotta find out about those onions. Find my I got other beds for radishes though, and radishes only take 30 days, so I'm not super concerned about them. I'm gonna have to wait till I get that weeded though before I sow my beets though. Precious, what are you doing in there? Goofy. Alright, so yeah, I'm not even going to do my bush peas today. I'm just going to plant along the trellis. If you're in the northern United States, you're probably in between zones 5 and 8. And you could go ahead and sow some cold hardy crops too as well. Peas can take down to 25 degrees Fahrenheit. So I know when I'd grown peas in the springtime when I was in South Bend, Indiana, which is close to Michigan, I was in zone 5B. There was a couple times before Mother's Day I'd have to go out and cover my peas up, but they survived. They did great. So hey, thank you for stopping by. Happy sowing, and I love you, and so does Jesus. God bless.